Hello gamers and welcome to another Aquatico DevBlog videos, and today we are going to talk about how to help you make this game easy for you. So it's going to be tips and tricks video. I'm going to talk about certain things that will help you just handle your town a little bit better without having much problems, right? So one of the things, so let's start just right away. Right, one of the things is controlling the items, the resources, right? And I'm going to tell you that you don't need to overdo it with building certain things. Let's say for example batteries, right? As you can see in the town where I am, and this is the year 15, right? In a city, in part of the development of my city, year 15, I have only 245 batteries. A lot of production, 335, monthly produced 153. So that means that my production is, when you think about it, right? Oh my god, I am losing much, and I have 3 battery factories. But the thing is, I'm the kind of player that doesn't overdo it with building a certain resources. So I have 10,000 pieces of one resource while I'm barely sustaining other resources, you know. So I'm always in the balance here, balance there, then everything is in balance in fuel, in oxygen, in crude oil, electricity. You see now, right now I will have to build electricity. So I'm not having a lot of solar plants. I'm not having anything in excess. The reason why I took batteries, because comparing to all other things that I'm having right now, and this is my, let's say, newest save, right? Calling Split, that's one of the towns in Croatia. Like, as you can see, I am missing nothing. Only batteries are kind of low, and I know why they are low. I know that my next move of all this, including my tech tree where I am right now, and I built, as you can see, let's say almost at least half of researches are done. Right now, next position for me is either build greenhouses, so rice and pumpkins, which I know they're not going to be used that soon, but I'm definitely going to use sand collector and concrete factory because of the upgrades that I need to do. So next on the line in business is sand collector and concrete factory when it comes to research. But when it comes to practical use in my town right now that I'm going to use, that is going to be in minus soon, it's batteries. So the next move is me building batteries. Why? Because I know why am I having 335 monthly used batteries, because I wasted 200 batteries on the expedition. As you can see, it has 170. I just bought 200 batteries on expedition. So that means that I am over producing my batteries by 20 units per month, which is still okay. But if I want to have a stable sending of expeditions for 200 batteries, constantly having that cost, and running the drones that are actually using batteries, plus they are using tools because I upgraded them to the second drone factory, which means now they're using tools also with batteries. As you can see, they spend more resources. That other resources is tool when they're on the second level. So now I actually need to build batteries, right? And that's my next point. So let's just check this. Is it energy? Is it? Yes, it is. Batteries. Let's see. Does it fill here? Yes, it does. I'm actually going to build it right here. There you go. Perfect. There's going to be spaces for... There you go. Perfect. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Build it. Go like this. Smash. Let's remove the grid. Let's check the pipes. Yes, there is. Okay, let's play it slowly. It's going to be -2, +2 on the speed. So that's one thing, right? Like, don't overdo it. Same thing goes with the people, with the populace. Like, there were quite a few saves where we actually, as you can see, the rescue center is closed. There was quite a few examples where people are actually contacting us. Let me just pause the game. People actually contacting us with actually, dudes are having problem with the resources, the balance is not good, we need to do something about it because it just cannot sustain my production line. And then you find out that some people are having ton of idle workers. Like, this is my idle workers on a town of 90-ish people, let's say, right? 7 And it's kind of like I will keep it around between 5 to 10, maximum 15 idle workers that I'm going to have. It's also because the Atlantis missions are going to use also people, right? Like when you come to Atlantis, sorry boys, I actually come like here, pop, 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 pop. Sorry, this is not going to be a really short video, but when you go to Atlantis HQ, one of the missions here in Atlantis HQ is that you are going to need to provide 10 idle workers of 10 idle drones and that kind of stuff. So you actually want to have your rescue center working occasionally, but right now I chose my rescue center not to work because I have 7 people idle, I have some workers idle, I have coming of age, reaching adulthood from all the children I'm having in my town, and that's 34 of them. Probably there is going to be an average of 4 to 5 people going to adulthood, which means they're going to become a workforce each year. So this is how you need to work, you know, like you need to think about everything. So you don't do 5-6 rescue centers and then just leave them working, because now you have 50 idle workers that are actually not contributing to your town at all, and suddenly you have that 50 people that are not contributing anything to your production of foods or anything, just eating out your resources. Suddenly the balance of dude, if you put in my town right now that is in perfect balance, nothing is missing, I have plenty of food for everybody, I have enough variety, I have an excellent food tier 1 and food tier 2 rank. I need 3 varieties in food tier 1. I have tons of food. I think I hit everything because besides sea snails, rice and pumpkin. And rice and pumpkin is, when you look at it, it's right here. With greenhouse 2, rice and pumpkin are coming over, which means that probably I'm going to have filled food tier 1, which means people are more than happy with my food requirements, food production. And at food tier 2 you need variety 1, and I have 3 of them, which is oysters, lobsters, and now I built it fish and chips, which means that people are going to nibble on something while they work. So like, yeah, like there is perfect balance right now in my town. Just not even using stock. I'm not even using, when I'm playing, I'm not even using stock calculations to see, let's say, my recent production in and outs of how much I spend, how much I produce, which is something that I need to check right now, because it looks to me like sponges are something that are well underproduced, which means that sponges are also going to be the next thing that I will need to invest on. Another sponge collector probably out here, just in a outside the skirts of a city, so nothing is built in my circle of sponge collector, right? So when you check this, and when you now put 30 idle workers or 40 idle workers in this scenario right here, I'm done. I need to build at least 3 or 4 another, let's say, fields here, which means that 3 or 4 drones are going to be wasted. God forbid if I'm going to need the greenhouses here. That means that I need to build oxygen, because I have only 121, which means that I probably need to build 2 or 3 more oxygen generators, just the oxygen extractors, just to actually sustain my greenhouses, so I can build more potatoes and wheat. Then people also require more luxuries, because you need luxuries for all those people. That people also require more food, and you're not producing it. They require basic goods more. Like, everything comes falling apart if you are not having your populace control. This is one of the first things you need to pay attention. Don't forget that your actually rescue center is going to keep bringing your people until you actually pause it. So pause it. If you don't need it, pause it. Like 15 idle workers is more than enough. You don't need to go above 15. And then you just control it like this. 15, 20, 15, 20, 15, 20. That's the mark. You don't need more. Idle drones also. 20 is top of what I need. 20 idle drones for now, with requirements right now. Top. Of course, when my town is going to be 150, 200 people, and I'm going to have 400 drones, it's not going to be idle drones 20, it's probably going to be 40. Because you try to think about, let's say, 10% of your overall force, let's say 10% of your populace and 10% of your drones, let's say that you can think about it, needs to be idle. Just to have better flow with your because people are also working on things, you know, like you suddenly need to pick this thing up. Also, idle worker comes to help you, so it's beneficiary to have, let's say, 10% of idle workers, 15% of idle workers and idle drones to be of your entire populace, right? So this is something that you also should be having in mind. Also, for all you guys maybe that are actually playing, because we saw that people are playing a game for an hour, and sometimes they are not so invested because the story didn't start. It's unfortunately, but our story, but the story starts with Expedition House, which means that until you play from Expedition, this is the Expedition House in the tech tree, and as you can see, there is quite a while to get there, and this is not going to be passed in an hour time. So just for everybody that are actually maybe even watching our videos without them starting to think about the story mode, and if they want to play the story mode, Expedition House is where the story mode really begins, and where you have to actually this Atlantis project, right? And that's when you actually start to help your humanity in surviving and giving more chances in survival, right? So yeah, right now I'm need to research advanced sonar, so that means everything is halted because I need to get the advanced sonar, right, with my research, and that's here. So it's going to be cool. I'm not gonna need to put concrete on, as I said, right, and then you're going to have mushroom cave, but I'm just going to research to open advanced sonar, and then later on I'm going to build mushrooms. But as you can see, it's not easy game, thinking of terms like everything needs to be connected, everything needs to be in balance. And I'm sorry for the length of this video, but it is what it is. Like, we need to help you, we need to give you some tips and tricks on how to think, so your gaming is actually more easy, so you don't rush things. This is also one of those important things. Like, don't rush it. What's the hurry? Like, it's so easy to actually get yourself in problems when you constantly having your game on 8 speed, which is not that fast, but it's still like, you go to 8 speed once you know that you actually have nothing to do. So you actually, now you're sitting, and now your time needs to pass for you to actually get to something, right? And you know that everything is in balance, you know everything is in order. Cool, man, go to 8 speed. Cool. Like, go crazy, but don't play constantly in 8 speed, because that time accumulates. Your, let's say, free window of doing something which that you actually could have done, but you couldn't have done because you're going fast on the 8 speed, it accumulates. It starts with being 2 months a year, then you play 10 years, then you lost a year of maybe building something of food value, luxury value, basic goods value, whatever. It really stacks up, that missed time, because you are going by 8 speed, not times 4 and times 2. My preference is times 4. Like, sometimes times 2 when I'm building something. Sometimes when I'm building, I'm even hitting pause. But times 4 is my speed. Times 8 is only when I know the town is in perfect condition. I'm waiting for a research to be done, so I'm actually speeding on times 8 through that research. That's also something to actually think about. Also, one other thing: stocks, depots, right, and warehouses. Keep them close, so you actually have strategic points. You see, Expedition House, I'm having one stock here just for the sake of it. Sponge collector, which is outside the town, I'm having stock here, so my drones doesn't have to go all the way somewhere. Fields, depots next to them. Production lines, depots next to them. You see this? This is my maintenance. You see how I planned the town? My maintenance depot actually now handles probably 80% of my production line. And I put it right here. Also, something that you think about, because I know the game, but also it helps. Like, when it comes to maintenance depot, try to build it in the middle of something that you know that is going to be a big space, and with a lot of connecting parts to the buildings, right? So it actually can maintain them. Okay, let's just go put this expansion, put 2 drones in. You see, now I'm having... Oh, barely. That's all planned, boys. I planned it to have +3 electricity because I'm just that good. Yeah, so okay. This was not planned at all, but there you go. So next move, as I said from the start, electricity, right? If you remember the start of the video, I said electricity and oxygen is something that I'm going to pay attention to for sure lately, with building concrete factory with sand collector, so I can actually upgrade, because the upgrades that I'm having in town are actually requiring the upgrades that I'm somewhere having, which are not, let's say, here, right there. You see, concrete. That's the next resource that I need for upgrade. Okay, so I said this. I said stocks. It's really important so your drones and your people are not walking across the half of the town from the low part to here because your stock is in the middle and you think one stock is enough. No, spread it around. You see, depot, 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 depot. You don't need depot here, but maybe even you do, but it's okay. This is electricity part, so they're actually only using tools, so that's okay also. Depot here, depot, 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 depot. Everywhere is depot. Probably I need to put depot. That's one depot. Let's say, think about it as like building blocks. Every block needs to have a shop. Every block needs to have some sales equipments. Think about it like this: block, 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 block. So they don't need to walk long distances, so you actually save time. So your resources get in here really fast, and so you don't have late game, especially you have like a lot of people doing a lot of things, and then because you don't have optimized your distances from production lines to depots, then everything falls apart and you have problems late game. So that's also what it is. And one other thing, just for just to show you these cages, because we also had a couple of things with cages, how to build them. You're not going to see. Just let's go like this. Let's turn it around, and there you go. Like if I want to have perfect cage right now, I will need to build it. Let's 3 spaces to the right. Let's try it like this. 1 space more if I'm going to be nitpicking. There you go. That's the cage. Like you go somewhere, you try it out, you don't need to build it, you can go like this and then try it again, and now you see it's perfect fit. You're not using any obstacles, right? The only thing is, I'm going to build it, the only thing is, like, you need a lot of electricity for the lobster, and I think it's going to be electricity also for tuna. Of course, lobster demands more electricity, so you need to be careful. Of course, as I said, once I build it, I will connect it. Next thing that I will do, it's electricity. So, okay, I know it's a long video. Unfortunately, we are sorry about this, but this is something that I want to help you understand this game, how it flows, how it's going to be easier to actually control it. You see, like the sharks, guardhouses strategically placed around my town. So here, one here, one here. When you look at the minimap, and one is here. So I actually have strategically. Probably 90% of my town is covered, so when the sharks come, they are safe. I also have defense platforms. You see defense platform here, defense platform here. I have I don't know if I put defense platform here. I think I did. Yes, I did here. You see next to the guard towers, one here. So when sharks come and big pirates and megalodon, when it comes, I also have defenses. So that's also some part, like strategically place them in the outskirts of your city so they can actually shoot as fast as they can when the enemy is approaching from the outlines of the city. They're not coming from the inside, so you actually want to have your ridges like towers of the city. You actually want the outskirts of your city covered, because in the center, if it comes to the center, he already wrecked the whole city, right? And killed a lot of people in drones, the sharks and or megalodons, whatever. So okay, this is the end of the video. I'm sorry for my yapping. It's a long time. I do hope it's going to help. Once again, we are happy to see you enjoying this game. This was a small video, tips and tricks, not long, not that much long. It could be longer of me showing you how to play, but it's just something that reminds you of, please control your population. Don't be overdoing it. Control your resources production if you can. You can go crazy with one resource production, sell it, and then buy all the other stuff. You're free to play whatever you want. Just have it in balance. I can have only fields of seaweed, let's say, right? Like 10 fields of seaweed, and I can go to 5 of my trade ports, sell seaweed, and buy all the other stuff if I want. For food. That's also a possibility. You can do it, but you need to be damn sure that seaweed production and sales of seaweed is going to be enough for you to actually trade in for other resources. You can play like this if you want, but it's all about the balance. Just remember, population control, don't overdo it. Drone control, don't overdo it. And monitor all your resources closely. there are going to be updates, gamers. We are going to still play the game. We are playing the game. We are upgrading the game. We are making it better. We are optimizing. We are having updates. This game will not be forgotten. We are playing it. We are involved. We are listening to you. We are listening to your critiques and to your praises. So definitely keep them coming. We are listening. We are evolving with the game, and we want to thank you very much for your support. We do hope it's going to continue, because we are going to continue to work on this game, and it's time to finish this video, because damn, I'm talking too much. So thank you once again for watching this video. It's been a pleasure. I do hope this helps, and see you in next video, gamers. Good night.